ahead of the Southport game. So you've had extra 36 hours in order to reflect on Tuesday. Is there anything else which has really cropped up from that game that you've made particular note of?
Yeah, of course we've picked up quite a few things that we have to make a note of. Obviously, it's not for public consumption, as it were. Otherwise, Southport will know what we're weak at. I'm sure they've done their homework, and we've done a bit of our homework on them as well. And all at this stage of the season, all teams are just trying to improve their weaknesses, if you like. Sometimes it's individuals not quite playing well enough. Sometimes it's your shape is not quite right, whether you're attacking or whether you've got to defend. And you have to work at all that all the time. And certainly at the start of the season, that's why you have to wait 10 games to really assess it, because it's probably at that time then you've got to have your personnel and your shape absolutely spot on. And then you go, for the next 10, then the next 10, and hopefully you're up there competing.
Are there any characters which are really already starting to show themselves? You've only had 2 games, had the pre-season, they're coming together. Anyone who's really starting to show themselves?
Well, I think they're all absolutely trying to win games for our football club. That's what they're trying to do. And in trying hard and having that type of character in our team, sometimes they can flash at something or not quite, get onto something. But the first thing you've got to have is work rate, and we've got a fantastic work rate at the moment, and we've got a good group of lads that, as I say, want to win, and that's what I'm asking for, and that's what they're giving. But sometimes it needs that cool, calm head to stick the ball in the back of the net on occasions. We're getting closer. We hit the post 3 times, so and then we had a header cleared off the line, and we had an offside goal that wasn't offside that we checked on today, and. So unless they've brought something else into the offside rule, all the rules that we know of, it wasn't offside. The one that Amari Morgan-Smith headed in from Aaron Downs' header back from a free kick. So a bit disappointed about that now on reflection, because that would have been handy. That was the first 10 minutes.
It's almost a bit disappointing. You want to start the season with some great wins, and you've had 2 draws, which I'm sure have had plenty of positives. But did you want to make a bit more of a real sort of punch at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, of course you do. I mean, it's obvious that you want to. That's what I'm saying. The boys are showing me that sort of will to win, if you like, and then it's down to your ability to put your thoughts out onto the pitch. And that's, people will grow in confidence, some of them, and some of them will get better as they learn the level, as they get to learn a little bit about me, about their mates, about how important it is to the club, because that was mentioned at the end of the game that, the club. We've put in their hands this club's future, and they've got to be able to deal with that, and I'm sure most of them will. So 2 draws, I think they've both been really entertaining games to the neutral. Unfortunately, we're not neutrals. I don't know about you, I've only just met you, but we're not neutrals. We're not neutrals. You want us to win, and I think the supporters have seen a couple of good games as well. It's just getting those 2 goals. We seem to be defending our set plays much better now, so because we've worked on that, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's about us improving every game, and then the wins will come.
You talk about entertaining football. What do you think the fans made of it? First chance for a home game. We've got another one this weekend. So, what do you hope the fans might be able to bring to the team's performance?
Well, the fans can bring everything, because they are a 12th man. We've had a couple of very enthusiastic opposition fans in the last couple of games. There was the drum and the foghorn at Lincoln, and then the boys for Aldershot never stopped singing. They made it a real away trip, sort of bit of fun, and then our supporters were good when they we haven't got a sort of like a group of singers, if you like, but they get behind the lads when the game picks up. So everybody needs everybody else. The players need the supporters, and the supporters need the players doing something.
Have you been able to work out much about what Southport will be like? Any particular threats that they're going to have? Is there anything which you can then start to work on with the guys in training?
Yeah, we will. We have to work on that today. You don't get a lot of time, because if you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, Saturdays. But yeah, we know what their strengths are. I think they're trying to get in one or two other players. They've just brought in 2 or 3 players, so they obviously left it late to be able to bring in what they feel is a competitive team. They picked up their first point, didn't they, on Tuesday against Macclesfield, which is not a bad result on reflection, although Macclesfield had the lad sent off after an hour, I think. So we won't take anybody lightly, that's for sure, because every team will come to the stadium of Smile or the World of Smile Stadium to knowing that they're going to be up against a decent team. So and we are still one of the bigger teams, if you like, in this league. So every game's going to be a difficult one, and you've got to earn your win.
Does that put extra pressure on you and the players if you are seen as being one of those bigger teams because you've just come down?
Well, I'm 60 years of age soon, and I've had 900 games, so I don't think I'll be putting myself under any sort of pressure. And you've got to make sure that you put that over to the boys. Yes, I'll be truthful. If somebody's had a bad game, they'll know it, and I have told them that. If somebody's doing well, I'll tell them. And it's just telling the truth and saying, look, we're a little bit open here, we've done well there, but we're not doing this, not doing that. And it's just having that truthfulness and seeing it through. And there's another 44 games to go. So, of course, you can't get too involved and too upset with anybody just yet.
Harry took quite a bash on Tuesday. How's he doing?
I think he's doing all right. It looked a bit dodgy. I mean, he's got massive calves anyway, but they certainly doubled up in size at half time, and credit to him, he carried on. But you know, that will be a last minute thing. We'll have to just wait and see. But he's you know, he was ill last week. He's still trained, so he's getting battered about a bit, but he still comes up trumps in wanting to play.
Thanks, Gary.
No problem.
In the immediate aftermath of Tuesday, you sort of said that there could be a few changes given how Tuesday panned out. Is that still sort of in your mind?
Did I say that?
Well, you said that the people from the bench have come on and staked a
I
real
see.
claim.
Yeah. Well, they do, and you know, Asa, of course, has been a long time out the game, so I'm sure he hasn't quite got 90 minutes in him just yet. But we're just nurturing him through. I use the bench anyway. If I have to use them early, I use them early. And I think Josh Cook came on with half hour to go or something, you know, and sometimes that disappoints the one that you're bringing off. But you want them to be disappointed because you don't want them thinking, thank God for that, he's took me off, sort of thing. So I don't mind that. But if I take them off, I tell them why. And it's normally because at that point, they're not as effective as they might have been earlier in the game.
How big for sort of a release of pressure will be just to get that first win on the board? I think Danny spoke after Tuesday about just the longer it goes, maybe that you begin to sort of think, oh, here we go again. Or
yeah, I think so. I mean, you don't want that, you know, that stigma, if you like, for too long where you're not winning games. We've got to win games. If you draw every game, you probably get relegated on 46 points. You know, I don't know, but you've got to get that winning feeling. I think we know we've got a winning game because of the number of chances that we've created. As I say, a couple of penalty decisions turned down. I don't want to go through all that again, but if something slightly different, you win both games anyway, sort of thing. So I'm not too bothered about that. It's just getting our shape right, getting individuals on top of their game, really, confidence-wise as well as quality-wise.